Again, that was Janelle Klein reporting from KARE 11. Former presidential candidate and restaurateur Herman Cain has died from COVID-19. News of Cain's passing came by way of an obituary from his verified Twitter account. The 74-year-old former CEO of Godfather's Pizza was hospitalized earlier this month. As a co-chair of Black Voices for Trump, Cain was one of the surrogates at the president's June rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma. At least 8 Trump advanced team staffers there did test positive for the virus. However, it's unknown where Cain contracted the virus.
And like most of the crowd, did not wear a mask. He tested positive for COVID 9 days later.
Shucky ducky.
Cain was known for his catchphrases.
Shucky ducky kind of crowd.
And for his exuberance. He was CEO of Godfather's Pizza and chaired the Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City.
999.
When he entered politics, he became the GOP presidential frontrunner in 2012 before sexual harassment allegations ended his campaign.
Obviously a man of great energy.
The eventual nominee, Mitt Romney, paid tribute to Cain today.
When he reaches St. Peter's Gate, I expect the first words to come out of his mouth will be 999.
Those close to Cain say that it's unclear where he contracted the virus and that he made a series of trips last month. President Trump called him an American patriot and a great friend. Herman Cain was 74, Nora.
Nancy Cordes, thank you.
Herman Cain, obviously a friend of this network, a contributor here. I had him on many times, interviewed him. One of them was on what we called center seat when he was running. Take a listen to one of the viewer questions and his answer.
If you could have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Martin Luther King Jr., because he was one of the greatest leaders of our time and in history.
Think about Herman Cain, his life and legacy.
You know, Herman Cain was a big personality. He wore that big black hat. He had a big laugh. You could tell why he had been a successful businessman with the way he was compelling to watch. You know, people forget that there was a brief period during the 2012 election when he was leading the Republican field, and his 999 tax plan, remember that, got a lot of attention. So sorry, we're so saddened to hear that he has died.
Herman Cain, I think, paved the way for Donald Trump, Brett. A businessman outsider with bold, disruptive ideas. He caught the imagination of the Republican Party in 2012. 4 years later, the Republican Party nominated another brash businessman with bold ideas.
Yeah. Well, our condolences to his family. He was quite a character and obviously had quite an interesting run in presidential politics. Panel.
And then, in maybe some of the most shocking behavior, he brought thousands of people together in Tulsa and in Phoenix and in Mount Rushmore during a surge in the pandemic, demonstrating really just a graven disregard for the health of the people that supported him and protected him. So yeah, I blame the president for the death of thousands of people. Mr. Cain, I'm sorry for his loss. That's a tragedy. He made his own decisions, but he followed the lead of the president of the United States, as thousands of people do every day, as millions of people do every day.
I mean, it is tragic that this happened. And Dana, you know, this afternoon the president tweeted about Herman Cain's passing. He was obviously talking about him at the press conference, and he wrote, "I loved Herman Cain, a great man. Herman, rest in peace." Look, the thing is, Dana, you know, when he heard this sad news, he had to have thought about that rally and the picture, right, where Herman Cain, 74-year-old cancer survivor, without a mask, is sitting surrounded with people at the rally. You know, days before he tested positive. Does this hit home to him, Dana, at all, to the president?
Yeah, of course this death hits home to him, and it was pretty clear in that tweet and in the fact that he said something at the beginning of his statement earlier this evening. But the question is, to what end? I mean, just look at yesterday. The president has been saying, wear a mask. He's been saying the right thing when he needs to, but he doesn't do it. He was in Texas. He was around people in very close proximity. There were people in the room where he was, very close to one another, not wearing masks. Looked a lot like that photo with Herman Cain, who is now gone
from coronavirus. As you mentioned, it's important to say we don't know exactly where he contracted it, but we do know that Cain just was like the president in saying masks are unnecessary and we shouldn't wear them, and he kind of was very open about not wanting to wear one.